NBA announced this weekend that they're looking to resume the season late July. Looks like Orlando. There was the possibility of maybe doing Orlando and Vegas, having the West Coast teams play in Vegas, and then you'd have the East Coast teams playing in Orlando, and then you'd meet somewhere for the championship. The long-rumored single-site solution, though, is coming closer to reality, which is great for basketball fans here. And you have different scenarios. Brian Windhorst of the Mothership says maybe you'll do just the top 16 teams, and they won't be designated by Eastern Conference and Western Conference. It'll be just the top 16 teams, and you have 1 versus 16, such and such and such and such. And then you will have your championship. But regardless of what they come up with, at the end of the season, there will be a debate about the validity of the championship. Now, I know this is going a little bit deeper because we haven't even gotten these teams together to get them on the floor. I can guarantee you, said it the last couple of weeks, if there is, even if we were going to play basketball and you were going to have it with the regular format going into the postseason, if the Lakers happen to win the championship, people would attach an asterisk because of LeBron James. Now you do the 1 through 16, there's going to be even more of an asterisk by this if the Lakers win the championship. Now, that's not a bad consolation prize if you win a championship and you're saddled with an asterisk if you're LeBron James, but I can guarantee you there will be people in my business, talk show hosts, there will be journalists who will attach an asterisk because it's LeBron James. If the Clippers win, there will not be an asterisk. Because if you look back on teams that won titles in a strike-shortened season, I have never heard anybody in the last 15 years, 20 years, say, San Antonio won that strike-shortened season when they beat the Knicks. No one ever brings it up. Everybody loves Tim Duncan. They love David Robinson. They love Greg Popovich. Nobody has a problem with that. Plus, it's not exactly clickbait if you say, we're going to put an asterisk by the San Antonio Spurs. And people go, okay. LeBron, this will be a big deal. For some fans, the asterisk debate will come down to one key point. Do you like the team that won? Are you going to get a true representation of the NBA season? Look, I'm not going to put any blame on the teams. I mean, this is because of a pandemic, this is where we are. It's not like LeBron goes, hey, could you make it easier for me to win a championship, Adam Silver? So I'm just grateful the NBA is coming back and the players get a chance to play, asterisk or not. We don't know the format, but it feels like it's going to be a one-stop shop, everybody in Orlando. And if it is a 1 through 16, are you doing a best of 5? Is it a best of 7? Are you going to have non-playoff teams involved in this? Is it just going to be 16 teams in Orlando? Those are some of the things that we're still trying to figure out. McLovin, you got a poll question for me today.
Yes, but first, can I say you're absolutely right. If Kawhi wins a title, no one's going to put an asterisk because they're not even going to care. Like, it'll never be brought up.
Well, they would care. The Clippers will be a big story if the Clippers would win a championship. But I just don't think that anybody's going to go, we're going to put an asterisk by Kawhi Leonard's title, 3rd title here. LeBron is the only one who's involved in this conversation because, oh my God, if he gets a 4th, then he's getting closer to Michael here. And he can't get closer to Michael. We won't allow that to happen. LeBron's not allowed to be good enough as Michael. Yes, Paul.
With this new format, if they go to it where it's no East, no West, they're still going to do the best 8 teams record-wise in the East and the best 8 teams record-wise in the West. They won't take the best 16 records in the NBA, would they?
I think it's 8 and 8.
Okay.
I think it's 8 from the East, 8 from the West. I believe, but once again, this is fluid here. I'm going with what Brian Windhorst said. A 16-team playoff with no reference to conference means you could have Clippers versus the Lakers in the finals. I would think that would be enough for people to go, LeBron beat Kawhi Leonard in a best of 7. There's no asterisk, but trust me, this is going to be there if LeBron wins a title. Yes, McLovin.
What if Giannis wins? Would that be an asterisk debate or not really?
It might be a little bit, but it shouldn't be. I mean, it's a level playing field here. That's what I don't understand. It's not like they go, hey, we're just you get an unfair advantage here. They don't. And if the Greek Freak wins a title, good for him. He wins a title. It's a full title. There's no asterisk. But the Astros have an asterisk. Why should the Lakers or the Bucks have an asterisk? If you're handing these things out, do they get a larger one? if you're the Astros, and then you get a smaller one if you're the Lakers or Bucks. Brian Windhorst said on ESPN SportsCenter yesterday, the possibility of all 30 teams returning to action is, quote, on the table, but chances of that happening appear very dim. Now, are you going to play 5 regular season games? I think you have to get to 70 regular season games for the local TV contracts to kick in, and there's a lot of money at stake there. Are you going to have regular season games with the playoff teams getting ready for the playoffs in Orlando? That's what I'd be curious about. Yeah, Paul.
Based on this open format, if it wasn't East-West, the first-round matchup would be the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Brooklyn Nets. That'd be saucy to get LeBron and the guys out here for a few days.
But you're not going to have Kevin Durant playing. I'm told Kevin Durant is not playing. He's not playing.
Mavericks-Clippers round 1. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Yes, McClellan.
Is it all going to, so it's all in Orlando. Is it all going to be at times we can watch it too? Because that would be the great miracle of this. I could see LeBron James play every night instead of if they don't go to the West Coast time.
Well, you're probably going to have an East Coast schedule. I don't know if you're going to have West Coast teams playing a little bit later on in the day. I don't know how many basketball facilities or courts that you have there in Orlando, but I'd be curious about that, of how many games do you play each day and at what times are these games played? Because you could play a game in the afternoon. Just the fact you have this window of opportunity. Let's say the NBA was going to play at 2 in the afternoon and then 5. And then they'd play at 8, and they'd play at 11 or 10 or whatever it might be. You know, can you stagger it? And just trying to get everybody there. That's what I'm curious about. How they get everybody there, keep everybody safe. Yes, you McLevin.
Also, they have to have practice courts too. These teams need to practice. So if you have 30 courts at Orlando, how do you rotate that? But is there a poll out of this? Are you in favor of all 16 teams, or do you want to see all 30 teams play?
Oh, I don't need to see all 30. I mean, I'm not jonesing to get, unless you say, hey, I'd like to have John Moran and Zion Williamson come back and play a couple of games. I'm fine with that. But to get all of those teams together, just the magnitude of getting all of these teams, even non-playoff teams, to Orlando and then trying to roll this out. I'm surprised they're doing 16 teams. Because if you're trying to get a championship crown, which the NBA is desperately trying to do that, do I need to have all 16 teams there? Could I have 20 teams there? Could I have 16 teams there? Could I have, even less than that? Like, how many is enough where you can play a little bit of the regular season and then, make it legitimate to go into the postseason? But, do you cut it down? Could you cut it down to 10 playoff teams there? But I think the NBA is worried about, if you do it, then it seems a little more gimmicky. And you don't want it any more gimmicky than it's already been. I'd love to have 1 through 16 where it's just like March Madness, one and done. That's it. Now that would be good.
Dangerous.
Yes. Gimmicky, but that would be really spicy. We're talking to Charles Barkley, the Hall of Famer, TNT Inside the NBA analyst. I guess we're having basketball. What do you think of this format of having the top 16 playoff teams, and they're not going to have East Coast, West Coast, or Eastern Conference, Western Conference?
Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to play. Just talking to my bosses, I don't think they know exactly how they're going to do it, but they're going to play. I'm 100% sure of that. I don't know if they finalized the final format yet, but they're going to play basketball for sure. I'm 100% sure of that. It's going to be interesting. Like I say, I'm still concerned about the virus. I'm still I'm really concerned about the legitimacy of the playoffs. What I mean by that, Dan, is what do we do if one of the great players get the virus? I just worry about that. This is not anybody in particular. I'm saying Giannis, LeBron, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Joel Embiid. One of these great players get the virus. Do you take you got to take their whole team out the tournament, don't you? I mean, You can't take one player because they've been exposed to the other players. So do those guys forfeit a round in the playoffs? We can't start the playoffs, then stop the playoffs. So that kind of stuff concerns me. I don't believe what Shaq said there would be an asterisk. I don't believe that. But I will say if the best players get the virus and aren't able to play, then I think you'll have an asterisk.
Well, I think the asterisk is only going to apply if LeBron James wins the title, Chuck. I mean, let's be honest. That just feels like people are waiting if LeBron wins it to say, well, this doesn't really count as a full championship. Or if Giannis wins it or Kawhi wins it, I don't think there's going to be any outrage. It would just be if LeBron James won.
No, I don't believe that.
Yes, there's haters out there with LeBron, Chuck, and that's what's going to happen.
No, listen, nobody hate LeBron. Listen, there's been other championships that have won by shortened seasons, strike seasons. Even last year, Toronto. Do you not count them as champions because KD and Clay were out?
No, I wouldn't apply an asterisk to that. Nobody did that with San Antonio in 1999 when they won. No one's ever said.
Disagree with me.
I said they'll be there for LeBron. Nobody else.
No, I don't believe that. I don't think there's LeBron hate out there. I think that these idiots and fools on television have had nothing to talk about for the last 2 months.
But those are the guys who are going to be bringing this up. This is right in Skip Bayless. This is Skip Bayless's wheelhouse, and you know that.
And you know how much I hate Skip Bayless. I don't pay that dude any attention. Whoever wins it is gonna listen. Under these circumstances, you got to give them bonus points. We've never seen anything like this in our lifetime. I wish all the nurses and first responders great health, number one. And shout out to all the people who served in the war for Memorial Day. Thank you for your service and all that other great stuff. But no, I mean, there's going to be a couple fools on television talk about it, but whoever wins it, but like I say, the only way I think you can put an asterisk by it, Dan, if let's say some of the great players don't play.
Yeah.
And that to me is fair.
Yes.
If we have a couple of stars that get the virus, and first of all, like I say, you got to take their whole team out the tournament. You can't take one player out the tournament. And if a bad team gets a skate because of one of the great players on the team wasn't able to play, then I think you can put an asterisk by it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I understand that. And I wouldn't put an asterisk by any of these teams or any of these players because it's a level playing field. Everybody's had to sort of deal with the same thing, but the NBA gets one chance. And you got to do it right because, as you said, if somebody tests positive, now all of a sudden you may be a house of cards where you just have to close up shop here.
Yeah, like I say, it's a really scary thing. Hockey's going to come back. Baseball's going to come back. So we're going to be kind of everybody's going to be looking at us, especially college football and pro football. They're going to be watching us with a fine-tooth comb, seeing how we react to every situation. I told the guys, man, I don't know if we should play because I don't know how safe. Because I would hate to see, number one, any of my players get sick. But I would hate to see a guy get his wife or girlfriend or his kids sick. I think that'll be catastrophic for sports and the NBA. I just wish everybody great health, but man, we're going to play, and it's going to be a crapshoot.